Ryan Dozer runs a fast-growing YouTube channel at the intersection of AI and marketing, a really, really hot space. And with over 20,000 subscribers on YouTube and a clear monetization strategy, plus a background in SEO, it's clear that Ryan is doing a bunch of things really, really right. But even smart YouTubers and smart operators sometimes miss subtle positioning gaps. In this Clarity Jam, we dig into the friction points between traffic, trust, and action, like why his free lead magnet is over-delivering on content, but still has an H1 that's a little too safe, and how to rework a subscriber funnel so it doesn't leak conversions. Let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Ryan Dozer. I'm a solopreneur. I run a marketing agency focused on high ticket lead generation, and I'm also an AI YouTuber with over 20,000 subscribers.
I love it. And you've done something that I really admire and I think is actually really difficult to do, which is start a YouTube channel and grow it to over 20,000 subscribers, in less than a year. Can you maybe talk through a little bit about what inspired you to start this channel?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's about a year and a half. So you gave me a little more credit there than what's due. But regardless, 97, not a lot of people know this, right? 97% of all YouTubers have under 10,000 subscribers. So technically I'm a top 3% YouTuber, which is wild to even think about. But you asked me what the start of that was. So we were talking about this a little before the show. I run a marketing agency, and by default, AI has really impacted the marketing industry. There's no doubt about that. And so I figured, well, why don't I just start creating tutorials on things that I'm already doing for clients in the agency? And then I also figured personal branding is going to be a huge thing as AI comes around. So I figured, why don't I just start a channel? I'm very bullish on YouTube SEO. I'm getting pessimistic about traditional SEO on Google with AI search and LLMs and all that, but I saw a huge opportunity in YouTube. And so when you combine those three things and putting myself out there on YouTube, it's actually paid a lot of dividends. I didn't really know what to expect. I grossly underestimated how much work it was going to require, especially for those first 1,000 subscribers. That's the biggest dogfight, in my opinion, getting those first 1,000 subscribers in terms of credibility. People view you differently. The algorithm rewards you. And so there's just a lot of benefits that come from starting a YouTube channel and posting consistently high quality, long form content.
Yeah, I love it. And you kind of mentioned in that first 1,000, I obviously am living that myself right now. Can you talk through a little bit about what kind of some of the strategies you did and have seen kind of work for yourself when it came to getting this first 1,000 to the first 5,000?
Absolutely. So like I mentioned, my background's in SEO, and that gave me a huge advantage. YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world behind Google, owned by the same company, of course, but not a lot of people view YouTube as a search engine. They think of it as an entertainment platform. And so if you want to grow big on YouTube, you have to focus on target keywords. I mean, sure, if you're a big lifestyle creator, you could do a vlog or a day in the life. But honestly, most people don't care about that content. No one's searching for that content. And so in my case, it was finding keywords through keyword research, through trends, through common FAQs. So like we talked about earlier, one of the most popular videos on my channel is titled Top 10 AI Tools for Marketing. Well, that's the target keyword, right? AI tools for marketing, AI marketing. Another is DeepSeek versus ChatGPT. That's a big keyword. And when DeepSeek was trending at the time, that was a massive keyword that I took advantage of. So going back to what you asked earlier, it's a combination of going after target keywords in your videos, optimizing each video for that target keyword, and also being consistent. You have to post at least one long form video per week, in my opinion, to even compete.
Yeah, totally. And before we kind of dive into actually looking at the nitty gritty of your channel, big picture, stepping back for a second, what is kind of your high level goal with this channel? Is it really to become kind of the core part of your business, or is it just to get more clients for the agency? Is it to build a community? What is kind of your underlying goal in the next year to 3 years?
I would say there's a few goals. I would say number one, establishing myself as a thought leader, not just in the broad AI space, but going, I guess, a bit deeper in the AI and marketing space, because that's a little more in my niche. My background is in marketing. I fell into AI by default. I'm not a programmer or an engineer or anything like that. So that's number one, becoming a thought leader in that little sub niche of marketing. Number two, obviously, is to monetize, right? To improve my personal brand, but also monetize through YouTube, not just through ad revenue. That's what a lot of people get confused with. They want to get monetized through ads. That's one of the worst ways you can make money on YouTube, FYI, but also getting monetized through sponsorships, through affiliates, lead gen for clients to fuel the agency. I have a community, so I'm charging monthly and annual for my community, along with upsells there, getting people in my ecosystem. So those would be the top two goals, right? thought leader in the AI marketing space, and of course, monetizing through all the different avenues.
I love it. So if you don't mind, you want to kind of pull up your YouTube channel and we can kind of dive into it.
Yeah, let me share my screen and we'll chat my YouTube channel here.
Cool. So if you want to kind of scroll all the way up. So the first thing I'm seeing is you have a very, very bright cover photo, which is basically your name, AI tips, and AI reviews. Something that just immediately stands out to me is obviously you're trying to drive people to subscribe. That makes a ton of sense. But you kind of said already that your main kind of value prop is AI and marketing. Marketing isn't listed anywhere within that cover photo.
That's a good point. Yeah, and I had this designed when I first started this channel, and there's definitely a lot of little nitty gritty things that I need to improve here, and that's one of them. So I'm glad you called that out. Same with my description. I need to update my description a little bit too.
Yeah, if you don't mind, can you just go into your description again, and I
Yeah.
can kind of give you some pointers?
Yeah,
If
for
you're
sure.
new to the kind of walk me through kind of what you were thinking with the description that you have right now.
I created this when I first started this channel. So the thought here was to establish with new subscribers who I am, what my background is, what the topics are of the channel, and also just throw some credibility in here as well of things I've been featured on. So I'm not some random person that hasn't done anything talking about these topics.
Yeah, I love the fact that you've kind of put in some social proof in there. One of the things that does stand out to me is you have 5 different CTAs within your links. I know you have a paid community. I'm guessing you probably want to get people into like a newsletter as well.
Yep.
Any reason why you have 5 channels in there right now and not just, 1 or 2?
Yeah, I probably should remove LinkedIn and Twitter. Having my website there is just more of a backlink play, right?
Mhm.
But also, this is just the opt-in guide that I have too, and we can get tactical on opt-in guides and email sequences if you want to go down that rabbit hole. But that's kind of the opt-in guide I have going for every single video is this free AI marketing essentials guide.
Yeah. My question to you is, I like the fact that you have an opt-in guide. Super useful. If you want to go back into that page.
Yeah.
Free AI marketing essentials guide tells you what it is, but it doesn't really tell you why it matters.
Yeah, that's true. I have a little bullet points here of what you'll get, what you can expect to get from signing up. I actually tested a few landing pages and this came out on top. And I think the reason was there was a lot less friction. All I'm asking for is name and email, send me free guide in red. It's very clear to see that that's the call to action. That's the button that I want to funnel people over to and grab their attention. But yeah, there's definitely more that I could probably add here and probably do some A/B tests on landing pages in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that you keep it simple. That's A plus, kudos right there. My question to you is more why Ryan's guide and not somebody else in the space who can also share their own favorite AI tools, their own favorite AI prompts, their own custom GPTs, and AI admission templates. There's a ton of people doing that. Why do people pick your guide versus nobody else's?
That's a great question. I should probably throw that in there, right? Basically, my guide is easy to follow. I over deliver in my AI marketing essentials guide. I could pull it up on the screen if you really want to see it and have me go through it. I could just pull it up and kind of show you what I'm working with here. So once someone signs up, this is what the page that they'll get. Obviously, they'll get a confirmation email first. So I'm establishing, credibility and authenticity right here with a video when someone gets the guide. Hey, I'm Ryan. This is not some fake person, some fake guru. That's the point of the video. Call to action for them to join the community right below the video. Quick background on who I am. And then I simply go straight into the favorite AI tools for marketing and content creation. And then there's like 10 or 13 tools I think I list here. And if I scroll down, here's my prompts for marketing. I label it beginner, advanced, prompt formula, my custom GPTs, AI words and phrases to avoid, my AI automation templates. There is so much stuff in this guide. It could almost be overkill to some extent, but I feel like I'm over delivering for a free opt-in guide. There's no doubt about that. A lot of people would sell something like this.
Totally. My question to you is, this guide is amazing, but what are people telling you, like when they reply to your, opt-in guide emails and things like that? What is kind of the feedback, or in YouTube comments, or when you talk to, people in your community? How do they describe it?
The opt-in guide?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to hear one negative comment about the free opt-in guide, if I'm being honest. And one thing that I do that's a quick little email tip is I prompt a reply. So when someone signs up for that free AI marketing essentials guide, my very first email to them is, hey, click here for your subscription. But first, what's your favorite AI tool? Reply back and let me know. And that helps with the email senders. So that way I'm a more credible email sender in the future, right? I know it's a little off topic there, but yeah, going back to what your point is, I have yet to hear anything negative about the free AI marketing essentials guide.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's overkill for some people, but I think people find a lot of value from it.
Yeah, I mean, that's great, but like, what are they actually telling you? Like, what is some of the positive feedback that you're hearing?
Yeah, some of the positive feedback is I definitely over delivered in the free guide. There's several tools that people never heard of that they're now using for the first time. There's some automation templates in there. The big one I've actually heard too is common AI words and phrases. There's a lot of people that when they come in there, they thought, wow, I never thought to exclude these in my custom GPT or my Claude project. So I would say those are the big ones.
Could you take some of that feedback and then put that into your headline for your
Yeah, it's a good
for your
idea.
AI essentials guide? So therefore, it's not just this really cool guide that anyone can write, even though you did it better than 99% of people. But now you're just kind of channeling back, the actual feedback that your customers and your subscribers are telling you, and it's just going to resonate and make it sound like your guide.
Yeah, that's a
And
great
why they should pick your guide instead of anyone else's.
that's a great point for sure.
Cool. On kind of the same topic, maybe if, are you trying to, is your number one goal on YouTube to get more subscribers, or is it to get more people to opt into this guide, or is it to get people in your community?
Yeah, I would say it's three front. Excuse me. I would say the community is obviously the end goal with a lot of people coming from YouTube, but before that, you have to nurture, right? Very few people are going to click the community link and subscribe to a community or buy anything from you. So second to that would be the opt-in guide, and then before that, obviously come subscribers to build it up.
Got it. So your cover photo in that, your cover banner in this case probably does make more sense if you're trying to get people to subscribe, but maybe just add in the word marketing and it'll just give a little bit more social proof. So like, maybe I like the fact that you have a really colorful banner that kind of hits you right in the face, but maybe add in some social proof lightly in there, or even just like logos of where you've been featured, just to make it even more relevant to the fact that it's AI and marketing. And then can you go into one of your most popular videos?
Yeah. You want me to click into one?
Yeah.
I'll click into this one. This one's actually made me a lot of money compared to a lot of other videos.
I love it.
So I'll click into this.
Cool. So I don't necessarily need to hear the actual video, but just scroll down into the description.
Yeah.
Cool. So walk me through kind of your process behind what the subscription is, and then also where you're kind of leading people into.
Yep. So here's my strategy with YouTube descriptions. So again, going back to the SEO, number one, my target keyword here is Blaze AI review, Blaze AI being the secondary keyword. And every single description, you want your target keyword in the first sentence. That's just best practice of what I've seen from testing all of this. So that's the reason right there. Then from there, you want your opt-in guide, any affiliate links. So in my opinion, I probably should remove one of these links, but you want 1 to 2 links where you want to funnel people in towards the top of your description. That's important. It's on the top because of mobile, particularly. If you're on mobile and you have your links down here that no one's going to see, well, you're dead in the water there. So you want your links to people funnel into after you list the target keyword. I notice a lot of people will put their links up on the top too. That's a no-no in my opinion, unless you already have a massive YouTube audience. It doesn't really matter, but if you're trying to build it up and build some SEO juice, you want the target keyword in the first sentence. Then from there, what I like to do after I put the links I want to funnel people into, you want to internally link other YouTube videos on your channel. Internal linking is a huge SEO factor, not only in traditional SEO, but also in YouTube. Obviously, YouTube wants to keep people on the YouTube platform to serve them more ads. So the more YouTube links you can internally link that are yours, that are relevant, the better off that you're going to be. Any references here that you mentioned in the video, that's always good from a viewer's perspective to say, hey, click that link in the description below. That's where this came from. Hashtags are big. I recommend 2 to 3 hashtags per video. Don't overdo it with 20 hashtags. I see people do that. Target keyword in the hashtag. And also timestamps are actually an important factor of YouTube SEO. I'd recommend doing, 7 to 10 timestamps depending on how long the video is. This is just good from a viewer's perspective when they're watching the video to have it break out into different timestamps. And by the way, actually that's a ranking factor on Google. If you search Blaze AI review on Google, my videos often showed up number 1 for that, and it's broken out into little timestamps depending on what keywords people are searching. Just an affiliate disclosure in the end, and one final point I'll make is you want to always pin a comment. In this instance, I pinned my affiliate link. because it's a review video and I made good commission from that affiliate link. But in most videos, I'll always pin that free AI marketing essentials opt-in guide. You always want that in the pinned comment. I've seen most of my subscribers come from the pinned comment actually versus the description. So any other questions there? I know I kind of rambled through that.
No, I love it. I love how, thorough that was and how how it all makes sense. My only, and it makes sense, pin comment, the timestamps, what you have there, I actually didn't even realize the whole linking thing, adding in the links midway through the description makes a ton of sense. Actually learned something new, so kudos. My only question I have to you is how do you think about which related videos, how to show how many you're doing versus making sure you're not diluting the fact that you either want to get people back to that affiliate link or you want to get people back to subscribe to your guide?
Yeah, so you're wondering how many internally linked videos I should have in the description?
Yeah. Well, how do you think about that versus making sure you're not accidentally diluting people from what you actually want, which is either for them to go check out Blaze AI in this case or to download your guide?
Right. And a lot of these, the reason I'm putting them there is I probably mentioned them inside the video. So if I mentioned a particular tool or tutorial in the video, I always link that in the description below. But you're right. Ideally, I'd recommend at a minimum, probably 2 to 3 internally linked YouTube videos in a description. You don't want to overkill it. And here I might have overkilled it with 5. Maybe I should have 1 or 2 in here. But I think regardless, you still want some internally linked YouTube videos.
Yeah, I would maybe say in general, maybe go for like 3 at a time. I kind of do the rule. I always tell that to people when it comes to landing pages, like the rule of 3. Either one really standout testimony or a really standout case study, or 3 things. And I think that also can apply to links because you are definitely, it's good, but it to me almost could be getting to the edge of analysis paralysis.
Yeah, probably.
Cool. If you want to kind of scroll back into your main page.
Let's do it.
So have you noticed any sort, and this might be more of a question than it is actually of like what's working. Have you noticed any sort of discrepancies between what kind of gets a ton of views on YouTube versus what's getting you people to your community or people to your agency?
Yeah, I'll go back to my popular videos to help answer that question. And I've actually come back to doing this because I've reviewed a lot of data and it's actually helped direct my strategy moving forward on YouTube. I keep going back to these most popular videos, more specifically this Blaze AI review. Not only has this driven a ton of views, a ton of affiliate sales, it's also driven a lot of people to my email list and my community. I get a lot of feedback from people saying, hey, I saw your Blaze AI review. That's why I joined your community, or that's why I joined your email list. And so based on that feedback, my strategy now is 1 to 2, 1 at the very minimum, but 1 to 2 quality long form videos, mostly focused on reviewing popular AI tools. I've kind of gotten away from that just for whatever reason. It takes a lot of work. I didn't have the time to do it. But this week I'm reviewing a popular AI marketing tool. Next week I'm going to review one. So I'm getting kind of back into that, slow and steady kind of wins the race mentality on YouTube versus before I was traveling. So I planned ahead, but I was just kind of plugging away at almost like not random, but other topics that weren't necessarily moving the needle as much versus those review videos.
Yeah, totally. That makes a ton of sense. And are you noticing that the people in your community are also the same types of people that work within your agency, or is it a little bit nuanced?
It's a little bit nuanced. I would say, my ICP is geared more towards marketers and content creators, and a tool like Blaze AI definitely attracts those type of people, and SMBs, small business owners. So I would say my ICP is definitely kind of narrowed down into those 3 categories.
Got it. And is there anything else kind of before we kind of wrap up, is there anything else that it's kind of been surprising to you when it comes to YouTube?
Yeah, I would say one little nugget that I've pulled from this, and this, you might think I'm a conspiracy theorist by saying this or whatnot, but I've noticed that there are several videos that I've talked about Google and Google products tend to do better. And it's YouTube, right? So it makes a lot of sense, right? If you're going to positively talk about Google's products and YouTube and this and that, they're going to reward you, right? Notebook LM, that's a Google product. That was newer at the time. I never expected this video to surpass 60,000. Same with this other Notebook LM video. Google Illuminate, that was just a quick random video I shot. That was a new Google AI product, 10,000 views. I was expecting like maybe 500 tops, right? So I know that's a little detail, but just something that I felt that was important to throw in there.
Yeah, and then my one final question that I was kind of think about when it comes to a channel, you're obviously doing a lot really right. You have the right types of thumbnails, the right type of visuals, maybe just add in a little bit more to make sure it is about marketing and not just general AI. But my question to you is, I'm guessing this is definitely a category that's heating up. There's a lot more people. Can you make it even more clear within kind of the first 5 seconds somebody's at your channel? So if you go back to the homepage with whatever they're seeing, I know you can actually have kind of different teasers and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Can you make it incredibly clear, like, why they should come to your channel and not somebody else's AI marketing channel? And like, what are those kind of 3 key standouts? You kind of mentioned one of them being tools, kind of tool reviews. I think you mentioned another one being that, your own SEO background and how you utilize it in AI. Are those accurate? And is there anything else that kind of stands out?
Yeah. So also tutorials as well, right? Maybe highlighting some of these, how to write an SEO optimized, locally SEO optimized page, right? I have a tutorial like this where I'm talking about local SEO, how to automate internal linking. So yeah, tutorials would definitely be another part of that.
Yeah. Could you create, and maybe you've already done this, create like a featured video for someone who's maybe new to your channel that literally just says, hey, here's what this channel is about. Here's my background. I'm taking all of my years as an SEO pro, and I'll translate this into how to really stand out when it comes to marketing in AI. You can expect tools, tutorials, and and what you kind of said before, all within this channel.
Yep. I had that on the list.
Awesome. Cool. So if you want to kind of stop sharing your screen, before we wrap up, is there anything else that you want to ask about?
I would say one thing I forgot to mention when we talked about YouTube is the importance of the hook as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to packaging, well, it's all about packaging: title, thumbnail, hook. If you don't have those 3 things dialed in my opinion, everything else is irrelevant. And so we didn't really talk about the hooks or titles, which I understand we're not going to get super granular, but here's just a little tidbit. One hook that I've actually changed and I've started using in all of my videos recently is the following. I'm going to say the hook right here, and you can take it however you want. Are you a marketer or content creator wanting to learn about AI? The reality is AI is going to replace millions of jobs in that industry, but it doesn't have to be you. And if you want to stay ahead, get my free AI marketing essentials guide, blah, 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 right? I do different iterations of that. But basically, it's alluding to that fear of AI replacing content and marketing jobs and saying, hey, I'm the solution, not only my free AI guide, but also stick around for this video to learn something useful.
Yeah, totally. Great point. I was going to say the exact same thing whenever I'm working on homepages and landing pages. You need to figure out what is that kind of secret sauce. And in YouTube, it definitely falls more into the hook than it does on a homepage, but it's the exact same thing. It's, what makes you different and why should people care about it?